Now look, self-improvement is one of the best decisions you can make in your life. But honestly, there is a lot of bullshit out there. So today I actually decided to rate self-improvement habits so you can understand what you should be doing and what, generally speaking, you shouldn't be doing, and what is going to honestly waste your time. Now, all of these habits I actually tried by myself in the last year I have been on this journey. And I'm a little bit biased, let's be honest. So you should take this with a grain of salt, but I think it's going to be a pretty decent guideline so you know what you, generally speaking, should be doing, what maybe you shouldn't be doing. So without further ado, let's get straight to the habits. Let's start off with something that is going to be a little bit controversial. It's reading. Reading I'm going to put into the D tier. Why am I giving it such a low rating? And before all of you try to critique me in the comments, let me explain myself. There is millions of books about self-improvement out there, and you're really depending on if the author actually knows what he's speaking about in that book. Because if he's not, he can be giving you some bullshit advice that is maybe even going to ruin your progress instead of improve it. Try to see if the author actually knows what he's talking about, or he's just random guy who wants to make some money selling books. Let's rate 8 hours of sleep next. 8 hours of sleep I'm going to put into the A tier. I think it, generally speaking, does deserve this rating. 8 hours of sleep is literally one of the most common self-improvement habits that you're literally taught to do as a kid. And this is one of the habits that I'm struggling the most even till this day. But I can really just vouch for it. Every single time that I get 8 hours of sleep, I become so much more disciplined, so much more energetic. I can do more stuff. I literally just feel a lot better in my body. So getting 8 hours of sleep is really a must try. So why don't you just go and try 8 hours of sleep tonight? Go a little bit earlier to bed and get some really nice sleep. I genuinely believe that this is going to be really, really beneficial for you. Now I think it's time we do our first F tier habit. It's mewing. Why is mewing so bad? Well, listen to me. Mewing isn't necessarily bad, but the time that you actually constantly remind yourself that you should be sticking your tongue to the top of your mouth, you can use all of that focus and put it into some other habits that are going to be much more helpful for you. Mewing is honestly a pretty hard habit to start, and once you start it, it's going to be really hard for you to continue it because you're going to be constantly needing to think about it and obsess over it, not giving you enough focus and mental real estate to think about something much more important. This is why it's the F tier. Let's actually do one of my favorite habits I have started on self-improvement, and it's goal setting. Goal setting, I'm putting into the pretty good rating. It's honestly a pretty good habit. It's going to give you clarity on terms of what you should be doing in your life. It's not getting an A tier and an S tier because I think there is some better habits, but it's honestly a pretty good habit that you should at least try to do and see if it actually works for you. Now we're going to go into probably one of the most life-changing habits that I have ever started, and it's cold exposure. Where should I put it? I think it does deserve the S tier. Listen to me. Cold exposure is one of the best habits you can start literally tomorrow. If you just do 2 to 3 minutes of cold exposure every single morning, it can be doing cold showers or ice baths, it's going to make you feel a lot more powerful, a lot more present. It's going to make you feel like you can literally conquer the whole world. And it's a really nice feeling to have. Definitely, cold shower is an S tier habit. Let's do self-improvement content next. Self-improvement content is going into D tier. Now you might be confused. Aren't you making self-improvement content right now? Well, I am. But honestly, self-improvement content is just fine. It's better than watching some bullshit content, but it's not better than doing, for example, deep work, which is an S tier habit. You see what I mean? Spending the time that you're watching all of these videos, you can put into doing some form of deep work, something that will eventually make you some money, make your life much better, and something that is generally going to just improve your life much more. This is why self-improvement content is D tier, and this is the exact reason why S tier is deep work. Let's do another F tier now. Quite a big switch, right? It's affirmations. Why am I putting affirmation at such a low tier? It's really simple. It just didn't work for me. It might work for you, but it just didn't give me any benefits, and that is why I'm putting it at the F tier. But a thing that gave me a lot of benefits is NOFAP. NOFAP is going into the must try tier. Honestly, NOFAP did change my life a lot, but it didn't just totally flip it around like deep work and cold exposure did. This is why it's an A tier, and you must try NOFAP. This is one of the most important habits for one simple reason. If you cannot control your urges, you cannot control yourself. And one of the most important parts of your life is literally being able to control your emotions, control your urges, control yourself. This is why it's A tier. Let's do journaling next. Now this is a really hard habit for me to rank because I just don't know how to and where to put it. I think I'm going to put it into the C tier. It's pretty good, but it's not better than goal setting, NOFAP, 8 hours of sleep. It's going to be good for you to do it, but it's just not as amazing as some of the other habits are on this list. I think just writing down your thoughts is pretty good, but like I said, in terms of looking at other habits, I think it does deserve the C tier. But on the other hand, a habit that is often kind of related and quite similar to this is meditation, but meditation is going into the pretty good tier. It's honestly a pretty good habit. You could try it. Honestly, I'm gonna put it into the must try, honestly. I think it's a must try habit. It's really good. It's going to help you be more present, make better decisions. I think it does deserve this tier. And honestly, just after this video, you can do like a 5-minute meditation like this. It's going to give you a lot of benefits if you continue doing it through your life. Fasting. I'm going to put fasting in the mid. Actually, I'm gonna put it into pretty good for one simple reason. Fasting is really good for you, but it's pretty hard for you to do if you're, for example, bulking or something like that. For one simple reason. You will literally feel so shit in that 8 hours when you are eating. You're going to have all of these carb crashes, you're going to feel full, you're not going to be productive. But if you can push through that, then fasting is a pretty good habit. Let's do posture next. Posture is going to the mid tier. Posture, improving your posture is going to be really good, but it's kind of getting outshined by the gym, which is going to the S tier, because the gym is going to fix a lot of your posture. So doing these little stretches for your posture is helpful, but the gym is kind of overpowering it and kind of taking the edge over it. Now the gym changed my life so much. I literally went from this fat kid to now looking at this at only 15 years old because of this habit. And I genuinely believe that it is going to flip your life around totally. And it is, generally speaking, maybe even the most important thing. And if you actually accompany the gym and also do martial arts, you're going to feel like a stud.
I'm ballsy. I don't take no shit from anyone.
And I'm putting it up at the pretty good tier. Honestly, it's not better than the gym, in my humble opinion, but it's a pretty good habit that you can and most likely should start.
Now my filming cut off when I was filming the healthy food, but it's going to the B tier. It's that simple.
And honestly, let's finish off with a pretty decent habit, which is scheduling. Scheduling, I'm going to put at a must try. Now scheduling and goal setting are pretty similar, but why do I like scheduling a little bit better? It's really simple. If you have a whole day planned out in front of you, you're going to know the exact things you need to do, and it's going to be much harder for you to procrastinate and not do something that you should do. This is why scheduling is such a high rating. If you want to watch some of my other videos, you can watch one of my best videos on the center of the screen. And that's pretty much it for this one. You can have me this quick comment down below, favorite reason, and I will see you tomorrow. Have a beautiful rest of the day, my friends. Peace.